Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Our Lives official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Also, Stefan squabble about Holly's excess. At Doug and Julie's home, Julie and Chad made the way for a rushed Everett, who shared the insight about Holly's excess. Julie thought about what was befalling Salem, given the city's putrefying ongoing drug habit. Chad and Everett noticed that the issue wasn't bound solely to Salem, and both concurred that the nation was experiencing a medication pandemic. Everett said that he needed to involve his situation as a writer to uncover who was liable for Salem's chronic drug usage. With that in mind, Chad concurred that the Observer could be utilized to ultimately benefit the general population. Everett requested $5,000 from Chad to establish a petty cash fund to encourage confidential drug informants to speak with Everett. Chad appeared to be reluctant, yet Everett said that cash was many times the best way to get data. Julie appeared to be wary that Everett could allure genuine street pharmacists to talk, however Everett persuaded Chad that it merited the gamble and exertion. Chad consented to back Everett for the asset. Everett expressed gratitude toward Chad and Julie for their help. Everett was encouraged to use his position to help save lives by Chad and Julie. After Everett left, Chad let Julie know that he trusted the onlooker could make Salem a more secure city for everybody. Julie said that Abigail would be glad for Chad, and she added that she was additionally pleased with Chad. Julie amazed Chad when she requested that he move once more into the house with her and Doug. Chad accepted the offer because he was moved by it. Julie was happy, and she tossed her arms around Chad as she celebrated. Julie got back to the subject of Abigail, and she said that Abigail had known how to both give and acknowledge love. You have such a lot of life in front of you, a full life, since you have such a lot of adoration to give and get. That's what you recall. You hold tight to that, Julie said as Chad grinned. At Eric and Sloane's condo, Eric and Sloane were spouting about Jude when Eric got an earnest call from Marlena, who shared the fresh insight about Holly's excess. Marlena requested that Eric visit Nicole at the clinic. Eric promptly concurred, and he took off. Following that, Sloane's bank alerted her via phone. Sloane was incensed when she discovered that Leo had attempted to make a $1,200 buy on her charge card. Sloane let Jude know that both of them were going to leave on a field trip. Minutes after the fact, Sloane burst into Leo's room at the Salem Motel to stand up to him about his luxurious buys. Leo took steps to uncover Sloane's mysteries in his woman informant section on the off chance that Sloane didn't keep on paying for his extravagant costs. Sloane messaged Leo a connection to a month-to-month monetary spending plan application. Sloane said that she was putting Leo on a month-to-month payment. Leo was shocked, yet that's what Sloane demanded on the off chance that Leo didn't consent to get control over his spending binges, he would destroy things for the two of them. Leo consented to utilize the financial plan application, and he and Sloane shook hands. In Holly's room at the medical clinic, Nicole faulted herself for not seeing signs that Holly had been disturbed in the days paving the way to Holly's excess. Nicole argued for Holly to pardon her. Nicole was joined by Kayla and Marlena. Kayla noticed that the medications were out of Holly's framework and that Holly was showing more grounded mind capability. Kayla added that Holly would have to endlessly stay on the ventilator. At the point when Nicole kept on faulting herself for not having focused harder on Holly, Marlena said that Nicole was just making things more troublesome on herself. Nicole stated that she only cared about Holly and no longer cared about herself. Holly would need Nicole to fully recover, Kayla stated as she wrapped her arms around Nicole. Marlena and Kayla both left the room. Nicole was contacted when Eric showed up. Nicole said that she was unable to lose another youngster. Eric set his arms around Nicole, and he held her near him. Eric and Nicole bowed their heads together as Eric petitioned God for God to accompany Holly. As Eric supplicated, Holly started to have a seizure. Eric yelled for assistance as he fled the room. On the shipping bays, what's more, Stefan squabbled about who was liable for Holly's excess. Stefan hollered that EJ had been the one individual that might have freed Salem of Clyde, however, that EJ had declined. EJ shouted that Stefan had permitted Clyde to give orders, and he said that Stefan's choices could prompt Holly's passing. EJ pushed back when Stefan said that he needed to oblige Clyde since Clyde had taken steps to kill Gabby. You are jeopardizing the existences of thousands of individuals, Stefan, including kids, all to safeguard one individual in jail for homicide. You convince me why I shouldn't have you captured at this moment. EJ yelled as he and Stefan locked eyes and frowned at each other with a burning intensity. Stefan said that EJ would be shooting Salem in the foot if he somehow happened to capture and arraign Stefan. Stefan added that he and EJ owed it to Holly to make things right. EJ said that Stefan had little to no right Holly, considering that Holly was battling for her life as a result of the medications that Stefan had been dealing. Stefan then dumped on EJ, "You figure I don't have a clue about that? I was present. I watched her get hauled away in an emergency vehicle. Furthermore, in opposition to what you hold to be true with regards to me, EJ, I show at least a bit of kindness. Additionally, it is breaking right now for both you and that little girl's mother. Since I realize the amount you're harming at present, particularly after the deficiency of your child. Also, my heart breaks for that, as well," Stefan said. EJ stated that Stefan's harm to Nicole and Holly would never be forgiven. All at once, Everett showed up. Everett acquainted himself with EJ, and he inquired as to whether he could ask EJ a few inquiries for the Observer. EJ said no, so he left right away. Everett then attempted to convince Stefan to converse with him. Stefan gave Everett an authority articulation about Holly's excess. Everett inquired as to whether Stefan felt mindful in any capacity for the excess. According to Stefan, he did not. He added that he was profoundly disheartened for Holly and Nicole. Back at the medical clinic a brief time later, Kayla had figured out how to settle Holly. Kayla let Nicole and Eric know that she would have a neurological expert inspect Holly's new cerebrum checks. Kayla added that it was normal to have seizures following excesses, and she said that Holly was lucky that the seizure had been brief. After Kayla left the room, Nicole inquired as to whether he accepted that Holly would awaken. "Indeed, I do. Nicole, you are a brilliant mother. You're solid. I'm hanging around for you. Furthermore, I'm hanging around for Holly," Eric guaranteed her. Nicole said thanks to Eric, and they started to embrace similarly as EJ, Tate, and Brady. And Tate admit to a wrongdoing they didn't carry out. In the times of our lives, equity was difficult to find for poor, weak Holly Jonas. Days of Our Lives recap features. What's more, John and Marlena's New Year's Day happiness was inconsiderately interfered, and Tripp understood that there was an up thing with his mom. Presently, we should dig somewhat more profound into what occurred. Intricacies. At college emergency clinic, Tate demanded to Rafe that the medications Holly ingested too much were hers and hers alone. To be totally clear, he didn't give them to her. That characterization was contested by an eavesdropping EJ, who insisted that Holly does not use drugs. Additionally, he instructed Rafe to detain Tate. The charge, endeavored murder. Rafe, Brady and Teresa shied away. Tate cringed. Understand this, figure out what's going on next on Days of Our Lives. Rafe demanded directing a real examination prior to documenting charges, maddening Mr. Lead Prosecutor. Tate spread out current realities before the gathering. Holly had bought her thought process was ADHD drug from a vendor at school, yet EJ would not trust the young fellow. After EJ took steps to condemn Tate, Brady demanded the medications Holly had taken were his and that Tate was covering for him. With that, Brady was accompanied midtown, and Teresa and Tate got back to John and Marlena's residence, which rather put down the couple's cheerful morning. Child knows best. At the bistro, Ava and Stefan got walking orders from Clyde specifically, get his spoiled item off the roads as quickly as possible. But how can that objective be achieved? Ava figured she might have a way, and it doesn't need thumping on the entryway of each and every street pharmacist nearby and requesting the stuff back. No, she'll simply call her old group and get them on it. Furthermore, certain, she cut attaches with them for an explanation, yet when a Vitali, consistently a Vitali. With respect to what her family could ask consequently, indeed, she'll simply owe them one.